Hello everyone. In today's video, we're going to talk about one of the scenario where we can create the dynamic measure based on the hierarchy. So in my scenario, I'm trying to achieve this scenario using the my time dimension. So under the time dimension, I have one hierarchy, so which is the year hierarchy. Under the year, I have the quarter and month information. So whenever I expand this hierarchy from year to quarter and quarter to month, so the values are automatically aggregated based on the level. Now, my scenario is I want to create one measure which is called dynamic measure, and here what is my requirement is presently the dynamic measure is mapped the sum of sales net USD. But my scenario is when I'm in the year level, I want to display only the sales net USD under my dynamic measure. But when I expand that my time hierarchy to the quarter level, I want to populate the prod quantity under the dynamic measure instead of the sales net USD. When I expand further, I want to populate my sales NDP USD under my dynamic measure. This is my requirement. So what I'm going to do, so here is the measure, here is the query that I'm going to write. Let me bring the Visual Studio. Come on. Yeah. So here is my Visual Studio. Right, so I hope you already familiar with this retail cube tabular model, which we explained in other videos. To know that how to create the retail cube tabular model, so you can go to my videos. Under the videos, you can see there is a playlist called SSAS Tabular. Under the SSAS Tabular, we have the video name called My First Azure AS Tabular Cube. So in this video, I explained how to create this retail cube TM by using the different data set. So that's about the retail cube TM. So now coming back to our topic, now how we are going to write the DAX query to achieve our scenario. So we'll go step by step. What I want to do first, first we'll work on the drill down action. So from year to quarter, when you expand from year to quarter, so we'll just populate the prod quantity, right? So now let's focus on that. So here I write the if statement. After that, open bracket. So let me write if, okay, under the if. So I want to, is filtered function. That is the function will help us to dynamically change the levels. Okay, whatever the levels that we choose, based on that, it will play with the data. So is filtered dim physical quarter. That is my selected value, right? So along with that, I want to make sure that I don't want to select the month value. So for that, what I'll do, I will use the not is filtered, then dim time, and then physical month, right? So here, I think the conditions are good, and also, so we are at year level, right? So, okay, year physical quarter, and now when this operation happened, I want to display the values. Okay, there is a bracket enclosed, right? So here I want to display sum of prod quantity. So the prod quantity column already created. You can see sum of the prod quantity is already defined. So I use the sum of prod quantity, and the next statement. So now I'm good with statement. Okay, so now next thing is when I expand to the physical month, I want to see the NDP USD value, right? That is my requirement. Now let me write another if statement. If is filtered in time physical month, then I want to display my sum of NDP USD. Now I close the brackets. All the brackets are closed. No compile errors here. Right, so no compile errors. Now I'm going to deploy this queue. So I just deployed, which is good. Now let me go back to the Excel file. So in here, I just refresh the everything. Now you can see here. Now I'm in the quarter level. Now now we are expanded from year to quarter level. So that's the reason the prod quantity value is showing under the my dynamic measure. When I expand further to month, now it's showing the NDP value. So that is our requirement, right? So when you're at month level, my NDP value should be displayed under my dynamic measure. So now I collapse everything. So now you see, for the year level, we didn't enable any behavior. So that's the reason this dynamic measure still showing as a blank. Now what I'll do, instead of showing the blank, I want to retain my sales net USD under the dynamic measure. For that, what I'll do, I will write the statement. Um, so now here, to fulfill that year level requirement, right? So now I'm going to write one more if statement here. We put in the next row. To put it in the next row, you need to press Alt Enter in the tabular cube. So now I'll write one more if statement here. So here is filter. This time I need to use my year column. So which is the year column, and close this. Along with that, I want to make sure that so we are not I just use the exclude these two conditions just to make sure that there is no overlap. Okay, so I will use not here and close the bracket, and then here also the statement I closed. Now here I want to display my sum of net USD at year level, and then that's it. So my if statement will get closed, one bracket, yeah, it's got closed. So there are no parsing errors, all good. So I mean, here I use totally three if statement to control this behavior. First if I worked at the year level, so I specifically mentioned that is filtered is at year, and make sure to avoid the overlap because it's a hierarchy, right? So to avoid the overlap, I use the not in clause at quarter level and month level, and then year level, what measure I want to display, and I mentioned sum of sales net USD. And for the quarter level, again, it's the same quarter level. I choose the ease filter of the quarter, and to avoid the overlap, I just excluded the month. And then this time I selected the sum of broad quantity. And third, if statement, I just use the physical month, and that time I want to display the sales NDP USD. Now I'm going to deploy this measure. So let's deploy. The cube solution is deployed, and now I'm going to refresh the file. So now we can see here, now I'm at year level, fiscal calendar year 2024. So when you're at year level, the sales net USD dynamic measure showing the same value. When we expand to the quarter level, the broad quantity and dynamic measure value, both are showing the same. When you are at month level, so the NDP value and dynamic measure are showing the same values. This is how you can write your expression and play with hierarchy. By the way, so I created the hierarchy right in the time dimension. So here is the hierarchy that I created under the time dimension. So this is my hierarchy name year, which you can see in the Excel file. Under the year, under that you have the three columns which are year, quarter, and month. So that's about this quick technique, creating the dynamic measure based on the hierarchy levels. It's not only work for the time, so you can also create these playing with the dynamic measure with different other dimensions like region or customer based on your requirement. But in my scenario, I have a requirement to when I'm at quarter level, I need to display one metric. When I'm at month level, I need to display other metric to calculate the measure. So that's about this video. I'll see you in the next video with a different topic. Thank you.